Hello, folks, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 32. I'm Bill from Coast to Coast Drones with my co-therapists, John and Ron, and we're here this week to say and chat with you guys, and I can already see Mermaid Clover, Spider Hank, Artco Drone Solutions, Whiz Bang 99, glad to see you all in the house, and we're going to be talking about drone wants and wishes for 2020. And I'm going to throw it over to my cohort and my right arm. And I've got the wrong remote. Here we go. John Cuppi.
Hey guys, good to be back. I guess we're going to be talking about what are all our drone wants, as you said. Ron, it's great to see you. Bill, it's good to see you too. And yeah, let's kind of jump right into it. I'm going to pass this over to Ron now.
Thank you, John. It's great to have you back on the show tonight. I missed you last week. Always great talking to John. You know, we've been kind of connected for years in the YouTube reviewing the toy drone. So, and I want to thank Bill Thomas for having me back tonight. It's been great being on here more often, regularly. And this is Ron from Skydio Nation. I mean Xeno Nation, and we got a lot of hot topics to talk about tonight. I mean, we got the Skydio starting to ship to regular customers and not just the big YouTube channels. We got a Xeno 2 on the Hubson website now. We've got Alltel rumors. We got Mavic 3 rumors. We got it all tonight. So with no further ado, we're going to throw it back to Bill to kick this big show off tonight.
Well, I was glad to see everybody in the chat. We got, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 people talking with us right now. We're really grateful to have everybody here tonight. So like Ron was talking about, what do you all think? Let's first off, since the big thing today was the Hubson Xeno 2, we were talking about it just before we went live. I personally think it's, like I was telling you guys, a Mavic, an original Mavic Pro that's been refreshed, like an Apple product, I guess you would say. And they're selling it through GearBest for $400. Unreal. What do you all think?
Well, as I said before we went in the show, you know, how are they selling this for $400 with all the specs this thing has? 4K 60, crazy distance or whatever. A controller with an LCD screen built in, like Bill said, the Mavic series or whatever. I mean, just incredible stuff. Why would anybody buy this little guy here for 400 when you can get the 2, unless you absolutely need that 249. Hello, Jay Santiago's with us, says hello. So
I don't want to interrupt Ron, but I wanted to point out some of the cool new features that Streamyard came out with this week. So please, if you look in the description, there's a link down there that shows where we're affiliated with Streamyard. It's super easy. They're listening to us. They're putting in things that we want. Like you can see Jay, it's not covering up our other guest face. It's right underneath Ron. We get small, and then when I remove it, look like this. Let's get the right one. See, this will pop back to the original size. Then I can come back over here. We've got Whiz Bang in the house who's saying, sweet. See, it swings back down. Super, super cool. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Let's get some more people in here. Looky. Hello, Ron.
We got Brian Singleton from True Drone Reviews in here.
I'm glad to see you in the house, Brian. I was talking about you in the preview, talking about how we were talking about things that we wanted to point out about drones and the problems with them, and your video about the fatal flaw from the GoPro Karma.
Yeah, which was a great video, by the way. I watched that, and Brian, I think you're probably spot on about those GoPro flyaways.
Yeah, exactly. So glad to have everybody in the house. I'm going to be playing with some stuff while we're talking about all these things. Like I said, anybody else interested in the Xeno 2 for $400? Now, it doesn't ship until January, but there's some links out there. I don't have any affiliate links because I'm not particularly affiliated with GearBest anymore, and I'm not really going to worry about that. But you can go over there right now. I think it's 32% off. Otherwise, it's normally priced at what, $4.99 on the. Let's see if I can get up a share screen for us here.
Share that screen, Bill. People, inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, I got to come back over here to this one. See, now that's another cool thing. A lot of people are talking about what kind of can do with StreamYard to share things and show things. And I'm coming in through another account. Well, my primary account into StreamYard, but it's just a kind of a dummy account that I'm using to share my screen and stuff with. Okay, so here it is on the actual GearBest site, and you can see it right here. You got $399.99. So you got another 19 days, 14 hours, 24 minutes, and 20 seconds, roughly. So
don't worry. That'll probably reset.
Oh well, you think?
Yeah, I don't put a lot of stock in those GearBest times.
Ah, okay, cool. So as long as they're making money, they'll be cool with it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
We can actually go. I'm gonna go here. We'll look at the actual Hubson site. This is what they've got up. So yeah, $4.99 kind of.
So it's like it's sold out already.
Okay. Well, no, I don't think it's available yet, so that's why it's not. It's actually they just put it. Didn't it just pop up today?
But I want to insert. I want to say this before we move on from this. I don't think the Zeno Pro was ever not sold out on their site. I mean, I haven't looked recently, but it was already being sent to people on GearBest and Banggood, and it still was saying sold out on Hubs. In fact, Bill, while you're there, do me a favor. When you're done here, pop back to the Zeno Pro and see if it says sold out.
Okay.
Can
we think is that obstacle avoidance on the front, or is that just for show?
That's just for show. The Pro has that too.
I don't because you don't see it in the specs. Let's scroll down.
Yeah, I don't think it's in there.
I don't see anything in there. But what were you saying about the chipset and everything, John?
It's an Ambarella H22 chipset, and for those of you guys who don't know, that is basically. It's basically a couple-year-old chipset at this time. You can find it in some of the SJ cams if any of you guys are familiar with that kind of camera. And yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, probably an off-the-shelf part. I mean, if you're going to make a $399 drone, you have to grab some off-the-shelf parts and not, necessarily have custom built, camera parts. Again, for a very budget drone at this point. John, real quick, I want to ask you a question. We talked about it not having obstacle avoidance. What is the lowest price drone that ever had obstacle avoidance?
Wow, that's a good question.
I don't know for sure. I'm thinking the Spark.
Yeah, it might be the Spark at this point if you consider, all the Spark sales and things. If we really lump that in, like all the Walmart sales and whatnot, yeah, it probably is the Spark.
And remember, the Spark, Bill, am I correct? When the Spark first was released, it was a $599 drone without the controller. Do I have the price point right on that?
I think, yeah, because we were praying.
Yeah.
Because we were all praying it was going to be, remember me, you, and it was all of us. Even Billy was there. We were all thinking, logically it should be $399. Remember, we were all saying $399.
Yeah.
$399. And then like $599, we were like, what?
With no controller. But still, nobody, and this not having obstacle avoidance, this price point is perfectly acceptable because nobody else is even close to offering obstacle avoidance at a $399 price point because, like I said, the Spark, you can't count. Oh, Canadian Drone Hub is just doing this. He says, hello, everyone.
Yep.
Again, that's almost a 3-year-old drone come around the next calendar year and was $599 with obstacle avoidance. So obstacle avoidance is just not in the discussion at this price point in this time frame.
Quick thing I wanted to give a shout out to Roger from Canadian Drone Hub. Everybody be sure to tune in here next Wednesday because we're going to have a Christmas special. But also be sure on December 24th to tune in to Canadian Drone Hub because Roger's going to have the big blowout for the year, the Canadian Drone Hub Christmas special hosted by none other than Roger Santa himself. So please tune in on the Canadian Drone Hub on Christmas Eve. And I keep begging him to read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. But I can't talk him into it yet. So let's keep trying to get him talked into that because he's really got the Santa beard going right now. He's really, it would be really, really cool.
It would.
He might even sneak into the house and put some milk and cookies on the table.
I agree.
Hey, Bill, I want to shout out FSU grad 03 DeMarco's in the house with us tonight.
Yes, and we got a lot of people. We got Drone Shots in the house. Said hey to you. Said hey to me. Said hey to
Arco's here. 3X Drones.
We got all kinds. Jay Santiago came in earlier. Jay, grateful for you purchasing some products from the merchandise that are the drone therapy merchandise and stuff. I'm very grateful. And as soon as I manage to figure out how to draw it out, I'll pay for next month's StreamYard so that we can keep doing this. 3X Drones, the man who crashed the Mini.
Right.
The man who crashed the Mini. But he's got DJI working on it right now. How much time? It was like, what, 40, 45 bucks?
Is that the deductible for the DJI Care?
Yeah, I think that was it. And Brandon, the thing about it is it's supposedly a replacement drone.
Oh.
So, but come on, it's a Mavic Mini. It's got to be new.
Yeah, how old could it be?
Yeah, I don't think they've had too many come in and go back out yet. So
yeah, it's not like they got a bunch of refurbs laying around in the corner.
Oh yeah,
Matthew, glad to have you here. Jay again, Rick, Brian.
Hello, Rick. Hello, Ron. 3X Drones. Hello, Brian. Brian put a comment in there. If you can highlight it, Bill. He said the Spark was $499 without the controller when it's brand new.
Well, because if anybody knows about the price points of drones when they first come out, Brian does, because he'll decide right then and there if he's going to buy it or not. First minute you find out about. Okay, so here's the one. You've already pointed out that Brian said that. Brian, and I'm going to highlight this one. Are you going to get the Xeno 2?
That's the question.
Okay, how many people in the chat are interested in buying and are going to buy the Xeno 2?
Straw poll.
Yep, do it.
I'm in.
Yeah, it's very tempting at this price. And well, that's another story. We'll wait till I get there, and then I'll tell you where I might get the money from.
If anyone doesn't mind, I'll drop a link to GB. I'm not really working with them anymore, but I might as well if that's cool.
Go for it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link.
Oh, Brian says no way. Brian says no way.
Oh, Brian got
without a doubt. Rick Halber says no. Floyd Monts is like, what? Yeah, Xeno 2. It's basically a Mavic Pro with an upgrade to 4K at 60 for $399 from GearBest. Introductory price.
Yeah, and like I said, I wouldn't rush on that one, because I have a feeling that price is going to stay around for a while. I get a feeling that's going to end up being the actual price. I could be wrong on that one, but I could be wrong.
Hey, John,
because I see a lot of these pre-orders that get put up, and then later on the price is almost the same. They do that a lot.
$449.
John, is it worth waiting like 6 months until summer when it's a coupon out there? Maybe get it for what, $299 or $349 or something?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, yeah, because we saw how the regular Xeno came way down in price, and now that those are probably end of life, they're going to sell them all out. I was telling Bill, I think they're going to sell all the Xeno version 1s out. They're going to get rid of those. I don't see those going below 200 very far. We'll get rid of all those at that price, and they'll probably just keep a $400 price point, I think, on this new one.
You think they'll discontinue the Pro also?
I don't see where the new Xeno Pro fits in with this, and I think it's kind of weird that they came out with the Xeno Pro and now they come out with this. Like, I don't know why they did that.
Because
it's out of the DJI playbook. Come on, get real, guys. And they just turned it fast. Think about it. If they'd have spread it out and then waited a year and then sold the Xeno Pro and then waited another 2 years, they'd have never. But how many people jumped on that Xeno Pro the minute they heard about it? Oh, I got another range, man. I got longer range. And I'm like, and me and you both remember we were like, it's the same drone, but it just flies a little farther.
It was a very
bucks, man.
It was a very meh upgrade, in my opinion. I did not think it was worth it at all. There were a lot of people who did not think it was worth it at all, actually. And I think they held off.
Disappointed. But I'm very impressed with the specs on. I mean, the stuff that they're putting in here, like John was pointing out, it's only a couple of years old, and it's a very, very stable platform. So, and it's already, the software and the firmware is already tested. So, all they're going to have to do is set it up for their software. which I don't think is going to be that difficult. It's just going to figure their way around the processor and everything.
We'll see, because Hubsan has a history of doing some really weird things, and I would still expect
one of the biggest things, the detachable gimbal. Wow, yeah, because
we forgot about that.
So yeah, that's another thing about it. You can get it has a detachable gimbal. So if you smash it, you just unplug it and plug in a new one.
Yeah, which is really, really nice. You know, I really wish that DJI's drones would do stuff like that, because, you know, once you're past your warranty and everything, what do you do? Then you got to replace it yourself. And I don't like any of this stuff going to an electronics landfill for no reason, but it's a pain in the butt to replace, say, the Mavic Pro 1's gimbal. It's quite a pain in the butt. You got to open the whole drone up. So to see Hubsan do something like offer a replaceable gimbal that you just slide in, that's really, really nice. Good on them for doing that, because how many times are these things crashed and the only thing wrong with it is the gimbal?
Good point, John. And Bill, doesn't the Autel Evo 2 say that it has replaceable gimbals? So the Zeno 2 may have beat Autel to the punch on the replaceable gimbals.
Possibly, but something I wanted to point out, it was like, no, Ron, I said that because you happened to come in, but apparently it's rather easy to crash the Mavic Mini, because there's probably a bazillion videos out there about crashed Mavic Minis. Whether it be the wind or whatever. So no, it's just I didn't mean it that way. I just know you've posted a lot of videos on your page. So I'll do stuff like that from time to time. So somebody will be like, what the is he talking about? And so they'll click on your name and they'll go to your channel and they'll be like, oh, this is what he's talking about. And then they'll watch one or two and maybe they'll subscribe. I didn't mean to offend anybody. Hopefully I didn't. Just doing it for that kind of thing. And now
I'm getting a lot of comments. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
I said I was getting a lot of comments about my tree. I just want to say thanks. You guys really like my tree.
Great tree, John.
Okay, I'm sorry I'm not highlighting stuff. I was off on a tangent. Yes, John, it's a very, very, very nice tree.
Hey, I want to welcome Chris Hope into the chat room. Chris from Texas.
And we've got a couple other names. And Johnny Drone Flyer said, nice tree. Hey, I found one. And it looks like a Spark. The tank of the drone world. And like you were saying earlier, Brian was saying that it was $399, $499,
$499 when it came out with no controller,
right? Instead of $599. $599 was the Fly More combo, or
no? $699 was the Fly More combo.
Okay.
Hey, Bill, before we move on from the Hubsan 2, for us photo bugs like us, did you see that it all has DNG and RAW file photos?
Yes, I did see that.
That's what steps up to the game of the top drones. And the Zeno, the current Zeno, the weakest point was always the pictures in it. So it looks like they've stepped up the picture game, or they're trying to step up the picture game. Bill, you got something funny going on?
No, I don't. I don't.
I got you. Yeah, Ron says he's got a detachable gimbal too.
That's what he said. He said the Mavic Mini's gimbals detach quite easily based on his experience. So when they crash into things, they might drop off.
Well, maybe Ron can get that new drone from Skydio, and there won't be any crashes. I said the word.
All right. So
just about Skydio right now. He's got a tale of woe to tell you.
No. The thing that was so funny was, remember, me, you, and Ron were all talking pretty much all day yesterday, and then bang, we were like, oh, well, he got one, and then 30 minutes later, I got one. I was like, all right, fine.
So speaking of the Skydio, I've got a secret about the warranty. Apparently, it doesn't cover thin telephone wires or thin branches.
Yeah. Do you have any thin telephone wires or thin branches around your house?
My whole backyard. I got like 4 humongous evergreen trees in my backyard. Anybody?
So you might want to be careful about that warranty then.
Sing them trees. Don't tell anybody, but I think the drone that Billy Kyle gave me accidentally flew back here in them trees somewhere, but I was afraid to go get it.
Did they have return to home?
I've seen a number of people actually start reading the warranty, and some of them are not too happy about some of the clauses in there. Apparently,
is it returnable?
The whole point is here's the thing: if you're going to try to crash it, you're probably going to succeed. Here's the thing: yes, I saw the video that he put up, but the whole point is they were riding and testing it out. And they let the battery run down too low, and the drone said, I ain't got no choice. It's either land or I'm going to fall out of the sky. So it landed and ended up face down. It didn't hurt it or anything, but, you know, that's the whole thing. So that's why it went that way. But, you know, hey, if you're going to try, then probably you'll succeed. Because if you don't the first time, you'll be like, oh, I'm going to try this next time. I'm going to try that next time. So eventually you'll get there. I personally don't want to crash my drone. So I'm going to use it for cinematic stuff and pretty stuff and try my best not to smash it into things or give it at least enough room to where it won't.
What I do hope is that if someone does get clipped by that stuff, even if it is in the actual warranty clause, that Skydio might just elect to go ahead and warranty people on it. And you might say, well, why the heck would they do that? People might remember Autel did that all the time. Autel would warranty the X-Star Premium all the time for people, even when it was pretty clear that it was pilot error. They would just choose to do it selectively. You know, they obviously can't be responsible for every crash, but, you know, maybe even though it's written there, if you have an incident, you might get some help from them, but that remains to be seen.
But I wanted to put this up because they've been talking about it a little bit in the chat. See, the other thing that I forgot, Ken said way back, didn't you say a foot and a half of snow too? Or did I miss that somewhere a little bit further down? And, oh, look, Chris has got to rub it in. So I'm slowly catching up here. Claude's in the house.
Old guy in the drones here too.
Well, I'm getting there. JM Moving Pictures is in the house. Again, with drone shots, going to just start hitting names and rolling down. Johnny's in the house still. Rick's still in the house. Claude saying hi to Roger. Man, Mitch! Wait a minute. Did you say hi to me a minute ago, Mitch, or did you just leave me
on drone?
Oh, okay. Anyway.
I need to get a background with a monkey in it, just like he does.
Chris I got that split cam that I can use, but he's got that active background, which is really cool. I think he uses OBS to do that with. I don't know for sure. Or he might use OBS into StreamYard.
Okay.
That's what he does.
Okay. Chris Hope says it's going to be 70 this weekend in Texas. I'm going back to Texas. Hey, Chris, let's make a spin up 3. Just the 2 of us. I'll fly your morning sunrise with you. Please check out our communities. But how about that ticker, people? I bet you we're the only show on YouTube with a ticker.
No, I bet you everybody that's got StreamYard's go. If you're not already streaming with StreamYard, please check out the link in the description.
Yeah, check everybody's channels.
Send it right there. Oh, I love it even more. Look, it leaves the ticker so that we can still put up the chat.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yes. And Mitch says, yes, it's an OBS. What he does is to replace the background and stuff with. Ooh, very nice. Very nice.
We had a little snow here this morning, Bill.
We had, okay, really cool. What was it like? Did you take pictures?
No, I didn't. It all went away as soon as it stopped. I have no pictures, no nothing except I didn't even have to shovel.
Something I wanted to shout out to real quick for all, like Ron was talking about earlier, we're kind of like shutter bugs and stuff. There is a unique happening at 12 midnight. I think it's 12:12 tomorrow night on the East Coast time. So it'll be like 9:12 p.m. on the West Coast time. Will be the largest full moon of the decade.
Really?
So if you got some clear skies and a good camera, get out there and take some astrophotography pics of the moon, please. Because I got a feeling it's going to be raining and cloudy in here, and I'm not going to see anything but a big bright spot in the sky.
That's probably what I'll end up seeing, but I didn't know that. So that's some good info, Bill.
Bill, what lens would you recommend using to get these moon shots?
Yeah, here's the thing. I really would love. I've got like Osmo Action. I got Osmo Pocket. I've got the Panasonic camera, and I basically, if I see a good shot or something, I'll take a picture and then I just play with it. I really don't have the lingo to say what. I don't know anything about apertures or anything like that. Like probably I've got a decent size telephoto zoom lens. I don't know what you would call it that I use. So, and then I just basically, if I want to take a particular shot, I'll either use my phone and say, how do I need to take this shot? You know?
I tell you what, if anybody's interested in a cheap way to get into looking at things like the moon, the stars, all that stuff, before I graduated college, they had the astronomy group out every week, and they showed me an awesome telescope, and it's literally only $400, but it's got an 8-inch diameter, and you can literally clip your phone to it, and you can take some really amazing pictures just with that telescope. You can actually see the moon. We're talking an ND filter lens and all this stuff, but it's only like $400. Pretty amazing. Some pretty amazing stuff. It's called the Orion XT8. If any of you guys are interested, you could probably find it used even less if you live near a city and somebody might have one. Really, really awesome telescope for looking at this kind of thing and getting shots with a camera. You can really see the detail.
And this is cool because you know how we are. We always kind of throw a little bit of everything into our drone therapy sessions because we've all gotten accustomed to each other. We know how to do the rapid. That's something we've had a few guests on that we've all noticed that have maybe kind of fallen behind a little bit. So I've discovered that here on Drone Therapy, we have what we would, I guess would be the best way to term it, would be Drone Therapy Rapid Fire. So you've got to pick up on how we chat and how we roll. And then we all know, it seems, because everybody seems to like, here's my opening. And then we all, it's like, we'll all take our little slots. Again, glad to say everybody in the house. So what do you all want to jump into now?
Why don't we talk about the drone wants and wishes? Is that stuff that we want to buy as well in 2020?
Yeah, and it can be anything. It could be a toy drone. It could be FPV gear. It could be, because I have a feeling the reason I said gear is because I kind of know what John's wanting for Christmas. He's been a good boy this year, and he's on Santa's good boy list. So.
Somebody told me John was wanting that DJI FPV kit for Christmas.
Yeah, I would love to have that. I would love to have that. That's definitely more and more. I'm looking at that toward my next upgrade. DJI has been really, really responsive when it comes to adding things that the FPV community has been asking for with those goggles. One of the major things they did recently was we've got Betaflight on-screen display support. So basically you've got your battery information, you've got all the important information that you need when you're flying first-person view in your on-screen display now. You're not blind to all the information. And the other thing they've done is they've fixed the lag issue with the analog. Now I know you might be like, well, if you have the HD goggles, why do you care about analog? A lot of people only want to carry one set of goggles or own one set of goggles. Now it's actually feasible to do that. You can get an analog module, put it in, and you'd be good to go. The lag supposedly has been fixed. So I'm really, really impressed with what they've done.
Super cool. And did you see what DeMarco said? He wants the Mavic Air 2,
which is another big rumor.
Oh, I haven't heard the Mavic Air 2 rumor.
Oh, yeah. I suppose it coming in the first half of next year, right on the heels of the
Mavic 3, Mavic 3, whatever.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry, but if I don't see how DJI is going to compete with the Evo 2 when its base camera is 6K.
You know, I was fooling around with Final Cut tonight, and I saw Final Cut has a 6K and 8K like setting in there or whatever. But
already,
I wouldn't touch it because it'd probably blow my computer up. But it's in Final Cut already.
Wow, that's something.
Wow.
Also, and Mitch is saying the new DJI FPV updates are great.
Yeah, Mitch is actually one of the people who did an analog mod to his goggles, which I saw when he was doing that. But even with that mod, I remember that you would still face some noticeable lag, and we've got multiple pilots who have tested it and say that they honestly can't notice anything. It looks like the issue is pretty much fixed. So that's a huge deal, and it's just yet another value that they've added to those goggles. So, you know, my goggles are old at this point. They're 3 years old. So I am looking toward what kind of upgrade I might get come this spring, probably. is the reality.
This is analog goggles. So you would have these, and then you'd have your DJI digital goggles. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, I could go a couple ways with this. I could either just keep the analog goggles that I have and not sell them, or I could just decide the DJI goggles are going to be my only goggle and either keep my existing analog module or buy a new one. I mean, I could do that too. It all depends on what way I want to go. But my thing is I need to keep an analog goggle. I can't go without one. I have too many things like this that I would just miss being able to fly. I have whoops. You know, there's just this stuff is not going to get the DJI FPV system anytime soon. So I need that analog.
No, yeah, sure.
Hey, John, we talked about all these camera drones that are announced to be coming out next year. What are the rumors on the FPV front? What's going to be like the hot FPV drone of, say, the first half of 2020? Are there any strong rumors?
So with the FPV drone community, there really isn't a whole lot of focus on the bind and fly stuff, but I will say this. Emax is kind of hinting that there's going to be a Tiny Hawk Freestyle version 2, just sort of like a little bit of a rumor there. They left a comment towards something that I'd written about how they put a 200 milliwatt transmitter in their new FPV car, but they leave this with 25. And then all they wrote back was, well, just wait and see what we have in store in the future. So there's a possibility there. We'll be seeing some stuff from them. Also, what else do we have? I could see a new CAT-X Tarsier 4K split camera. I could see another one of those. Probably wouldn't be called the Tarsier line. They probably start a whole new HD camera line. You know, those split whoop cameras are a pretty big deal, and I don't see those going away anytime soon. So I think we're probably going to see more of that. And just micro stuff. Micro stuff is going to continue to dominate. You know, out of nowhere, Armatan just released their tadpole frame. I want it. That's another thing that I want. I want the tadpole frame, or I want the bind and fly tadpole from Armatan. I think that's going to be a really hot item.
Hey, John, I know this is Coast to Coast Drones, but you mentioned something about a car. A car.
Oh yes, it's an FPV car. Emax released. Yep, it's literally a remote control car. They threw the camera from the Tiny Hawk in there, and you could drive the car FPV. I'm not even kidding. Wow, it's called the Emax Interceptor, I think it is called.
With a good range.
Yeah.
Oh yes, supposedly it's got decent range. Yeah, people are driving it in parks, driving it underneath their car, around their house. It's pretty fun.
Hey, I don't want to say one quick thing, Ron. Coast to coast drones on the front of the store doesn't mean that we don't have boats and cars inside for sale. You know, so, we sell a little bit of everything. We even sell little Bobo things like this.
Mitch was saying that using the DJI goggles for analog is great, much bigger, better screens, and you get the DVR. Yeah, Mitch, I'm glad to hear that. Like I said, one of my biggest hangups was the whole lag thing, but if it's resolved, I can see myself going for it and forgetting about Fat Sharks.
So it could be an exciting year for you know, and the FPV side of it too. With these, so if these goggles are as good as as of course, I'm not saying it's not good as you say they are. There's going to be imitators of them coming next year too.
Yeah, I could see that, but you know what? We've watched the market try to imitate Fat Shark, and the market has not been able to do that very well. It's why Fat Shark is usually able to get away with the prices that they charge for their goggles. They're always really, really expensive. And, the imitators, they try, but they just don't hit the mark. I don't see a lot of imitators being able to copy what DJI has done very easily at all. We know that in general, they're not very good at copying their tech very quickly either. I mean, look at how long it took to finally see something even close to the Mavic Pro 1, right? I mean, it's taken a few years. We got the Xeno 2. Finally, we've got that.
What was the first great, I'll say Mavic clone?
What was the first Mavic clone? Gee.
I mean, you remember when the Mavic first came out, all those like toy ones came out, they looked like the Mavic Pro, but they weren't even GPS at first. I mean,
yeah, but I don't even consider any of those a legitimate try. The first legitimate try to clone the Mavic that I can remember, like a real try, was do you remember the Walkera Vetus by chance?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was cringy. They tried.
It never took a foothold. And of course we have the sea flies. The sea fly. Yeah, which took a little more hold because they were affordable. We got a message from Above and Beyond Drones. Mitch, guy tried to get you to hook up your goggles to the underwater drone. Old guy in a drone.
And True Drone Reviews just chimed in. The Seafly Obtain. That was another attempt. I think the Vetus came first. Then we had the Obtain, and that was bad. That was really bad.
And the problem with the Vetus is it costs almost as much as a real thing, right? I mean, like who would pay $800 for $200 more? You got the real thing.
Yeah, I feel really bad for anybody who bought that stuff because all it was just a giant waste of money.
Okay.
And
that one, there's one little area that we're still not touching on. Yeah.
So yeah, they took a long time to clone that stuff. I unfortunately don't see an affordable clone of the DJI FPV system. I think that they've got that locked up pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So there's no Bifrost in their future.
No, I don't know about Bifrost, but I feel like if you look at the cost of Bifrost and you look at the cost of you look at the cost of the FPV goggles that Fat Shark offers, it's just, I don't know. It's a hard pill to swallow. I'd rather just have the HD.
I think I kind of agree with Brian. That's why it felt so fast.
Yeah, he says he don't think it was a copy. It was its own thing. Yeah, but it was the first real attempt, I think, by a manufacturer to create a folding drone similar to the Mavic. It's not that it was a clone.
I agree with Brian. It's odd copy that didn't look at all like the Mavic, but it had the features. It copied the features, not the look.
Yeah.
What you mean, John?
Yeah, the Obtain was a complete ripoff of the Mavic. That was an actual clone. The Vetus was its own attempt at a folding drone that tried to compete on a level with the DJI Mavic version 1.
Yeah.
And it flopped. It was bad.
You know anybody that ever had a Vetus?
I remember seeing Andy RC's review. I remember seeing reviewers with it. I don't know anybody personally who purchased it.
I don't know anybody personally outside of the big time reviewers that got a free one. Andy RC. And what's the drone reviewer? He from India. What's his channel? He had it. He did a bunch of reviews.
Drone Nash or something like that. I can't remember.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he had it too. But obviously, he got to see the one. He's one of those guys. He has like 250,000 subscribers. Or
Brian, they still sell the Vetus? That's crazy.
And for $750.
Why would they even try to do that? I guess they just are going to warehouse it forever.
Well, yeah, that doesn't make any sense, does it? It's like, I wonder how the batteries are now.
Yeah, can you still buy a new battery?
Apparently, you can buy a new battery. I see one right now on Banggood for $93. So, yeah, if you want to buy a Vitas battery, they still sell them. Good luck with the age of those batteries. Oh boy.
Well, we learned something every show, don't we, John? The Vitas is still on sale and still going for it's down from $800 to $750 now. Maybe that's with a Banggood coupon.
Yeah. You know what else might happen in the FPV community? I'm just going to touch on this last. I see FreeSky products sort of not getting the support that they did before. FreeSky has been pretty aggressive against the Jumper radio. In case any of you guys have heard of that radio, the Jumper T16. Jumper's created a really incredible product, and FreeSky's not happy about it at all. FreeSky's also made some questionable hardware changes to their stuff, and people just don't like it. They don't like being forced to use a new protocol. They don't. There's just been a lot of changes to their hardware that people have not asked for. And some people just aren't a fan of their tactics, their business practices. So I see a lot of support for FreeSky dying. We may see a big shift toward Jumper, toward another system. I mean, there's room for somebody to come in and take that from them. You know, they're really doing a number on their reputation out there. So that should be interesting. As for me, I'm going to hold on to my radio for as long as possible. But if my radio broke today, I would have to go out and buy another one, and it would probably be the Jumper. I don't see any reason to stay with FreeSky. That's just me.
I mean, FreeSky had the lead, so they were so far out in front of that in their category or whatever. And you wonder why they let somebody just come up and catch them. Like you said, the Fat Sharks, they never let anybody catch them or whatever. But It seems like FreeSky didn't have their eyes on the ball or whatever.
Nope, and in the radio market, it's very cutthroat. It's easy for somebody to make a radio. So with poor business practices, it's easy. Fat Shark has a big supply chain hold on the micro screens. That's really what's always been the huge expense, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, and Mitch is saying Jumper T16 is killing it.
Well, the thing about it is Jumper came into the market pushing multiple protocols. That was the claim to fame. And if you can use one radio and fly multiple drones and be able to use, because each receiver has its own benefits, each transmitter has its own benefits, and if you can mix and match these and still be able to control them, oh wow.
Absolutely. And if I were to buy a new Taranis X9D Plus today, I would actually have a problem flying some of the stuff that I like. Like, this only supports FreeSky D8. Well, guess what? They've taken it out of some of their newer radios. So that means I wouldn't be able to fly this. They're screwing people who have older stuff and some newer stuff that they want to fly. I'm going to hold on to my old X9D Plus for as long as I can, because what am I going to do? Just not fly my old stuff?
Okay,
it's
just
ridiculous.
Real quick. Jim was asking, has anybody been contacted from Skydio? And look what happens. And Ron pushed his hand.
SEMA. It was SEMA.
Yeah, SEMA, not Skydio, SEMA.
Oh, I'm sorry. SEMA.
I've been contacted too.
You did wish that Skydio contacted you, Art. So Art got an email from SEMA, and Ron got an email from SEMA. But Ron also got another email, like Marcus got, that I haven't gotten. And I'm really envious.
But Bill's not bitter or anything.
I want to go cry. I really thought Santa was going to bring it before.
SEMA's been emailing a lot of people. I had SEMA Joe email me.
And John, the SEMA person from SEMA contacted me. They made it sound like they were from SEMA, but I don't think it was SEMA themselves. I think it was somebody, a large reseller of SEMA products.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it is as well. I don't think it's someone directly from SEMA who's contacting, but it's legit. They want to make you do an Amazon, buy the item, and then refund you on PayPal kind of deal. But yeah, it's certainly legitimate.
See, that's the thing that kind of kills me about all that is, a lot of your quote unquote bigger channels that, there's some of them out there that are really genuine and I love them to death, but there's a lot of your larger channels that feed just off of you coming to their channel and buying products through their links. And I mean, I love a lot of, Ed Ricker's a super cool dude. And, there's a lot of good people out there, Kelly Shores and stuff like that. But there's also a lot of people out there that I feel really just do it because they want you to buy stuff through their links. And I don't know, that's just me. I feel bad about saying it, but
no, you're not wrong, dude. The affiliate links on the whole internet, and I'll say this as someone who uses affiliate links myself. Affiliate links have really changed reviews. Mostly probably for the worst. We're talking about anything. Blogs that do throw affiliate links, they're everywhere. They're all over the internet. And some of the times a lot of times people don't even disclose that there are affiliate links. They don't tell you that they got the items for free. They don't tell you anything.
Yeah, and what kills me is I think we've, like, the larger channels, they've not really changed their format. They're all pretty much the same delivery. They just plug in a new firmware update video, whatever, and it's all the same thing. And so, I mean, I would love to see more smaller channels and people who are not getting into it just to get all the views, that really just are out there playing with it, like Mitch is doing, like Ron is doing, like Marcus is doing. Not the ones that just are out here on YouTube to get 50 million subscribers and be making this humongous paycheck and get. I just like talking about drones and learning stuff because, like I said, that's something. I'm glad I segued back into this. Something I would like to do in season 4, and that's kind of why I've begged and pled with Ron to come back with us, is, like I said, I don't understand all this gear that I have. So if you all will join us for season 4 too, we're going to have more color grading with Ethan Mitchell. We're going to have Bill finally learns how to use his Osmo Pocket. Bill finally learns how to use his Osmo Action. Bill finally learns how to use his DSLR. And then you all can help me out too, because I don't know how. I like making the pretty colors. Anybody that's my friend on Facebook has seen that.
And if I do come back, my goal for season 4 will be learn how to use Luminar 4.
Did y'all hear that? During season 4, we will have Ron doing Introduction to Luminar 4 here on Drone Therapy. So we will have that coming up in season 4 on Drone Therapy. Okay, so let's get to it. I haven't heard Jack from Skydio, but my order is like 4,000 higher than what Marcus's was. So do they literally, are they doing like 10,000 drones in a batch or something? I mean, because if that would be like that, then we're talking, this year alone that Skydio is coming out with 50,000 drones, 50,000 drones? Because they're in batch 4 now. They've gotten as far as batch 4 now since they started shipping. It kicked up again.
Well, Bill, let me try to break it down as best as I can for that. What I know, my number was like I was about maybe 60, 70 numbers, lower than Marcus, and I got my email about a half hour before him, so it didn't make a difference in those numbers. Now, there's another famous drone reviewer that you all know. I won't name his name because I didn't, ask if I could say this, but he was a little bit better than 300 digits lower than me. Mm-hmm. He got his drone 2 weeks to the day ahead of me. So it took, and so he was, we'll say he was 310 digits lower than me. So it took them 14 days, we'll say 10 business days to go through the move up 300 units. That's only an average of 30 units a day.
Okay, but I think that, and I know the situation you're talking about, but you got to realize too that he took his ass out to Vegas and pressed palms with them personally. Remember, he went out there, he held it in his hand, he showed everybody, so I think that, and if you're going to put that kind of effort in, then yeah, you deserve to get a little quicker. I didn't see anybody else doing that. He's the only one I saw doing that.
So he took a little initiative. I should have bought that ticket and went with him.
Exactly. That's exactly. Didn't he have an extra pass? I mean, wasn't he saying something about that? But yeah, I mean, Ken put in the extra time and work, and Ken, you can get mad at me for mentioning your name if you want to.
We'll work that out on the recorded version.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, he went out there. So he went out there and he shook hands with them. He talked to them about it. So yeah, if you're going, I mean, think about. I mean, he flew all the way out there, flew all the way back, everything. You know, even if DroneWorks put him up out there, still he put in the time and effort, so he deserved to get it a little quicker. And it was
absolutely.
To be honest with you, as good as he is at reviewing a product and selling a product and getting it out there, he should have left that day with one. They should have given him a trial one until his came.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I see Ken is one of those people that's always going to be Ken, and that's what's so cool about Ken is, you know, he's just going to tell you what he thinks, and he's going to be as blunt. He's the younger version of Brian. I honestly think that they were father and son in another life, and it's the biggest compliment I'm trying to give both of you all, because I have both respect for both of you guys. So
well said. Okay, back to my math here. So, you know, it did hold true with Marcus and I that I got my email a little bit sooner than he did, because I was like, again, 75 numbers higher. Some were somewhere between 50 and 100. But back to the timeline here is interesting. So it seems like the people have got it. They've got the email, the complete their order. Then about a week goes by, and then they get a second email giving them ship times or tracking numbers, and then it's another week before the drone comes. So it's going to take, you know, if the first people got her any measure, it's going to take about 2 weeks to get it after you complete the order. So go ahead. So I'm thinking I'm going to receive mine on about Christmas Day, which of course won't happen. So I'm probably going to be delayed a few days, because mine's going to try to arrive right around the middle of the holidays. But maybe they've ramped their production and streamlined their shipping, so maybe mine won't take a full 2 weeks from the time that I completed the order to get here. We can only hope. And of course, when I completed my order, I ordered the beacon, the controller, and the extra battery. And
no filters?
Pardon?
No filters?
I only did what they recommended, because I figured the other stuff would since they didn't recommend getting the other stuff, it was probably highly available. So, you know, they said that the actual controller is going to be delayed until the end of December.
But Barrington was saying they started shipping today.
Well, good.
Email they were shipping today.
And there was a note in there, Bill, that they said that the people buying the drone that put their money down the drone, it said that in that last night that we're prioritized to get the accessories.
Okay, but here's the thing. I went ahead because I was worried. Remember, we were talking about it, and I've already ordered my controller and the filters. That's all I've ordered.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping if I say, hey, this is my order, I've already paid you for the controller, you know, make sure I get all of that together
in the same box.
Yeah. You know, and I'll just be like, look, you know, here's me. You know, I'm hoping that I can work that out.
Bill, did you see what was Kyle's last name? We had Kyle on the show.
Kyle Warner.
He recently interviewed the CEO of Skydio.
You didn't see the comment I put up there?
I did not. If I did,
he even answered me too, because I said Skydio, wherefore out thou, Skydio.
Now I'm remembering.
And he just started laughing. He said, man, I couldn't get him to answer. And I was like, man, I was trying to use everything I could. Oh, and what about Chief Mike?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a little hot topic here. Let me explain Bill's tale of woe. Chief Mike, who people probably know him, he was in some of the aviator promotion videos when Tommy Polo tested the aviator at the local high school. Anyhow, Chief Mike, who was in a lower batch than Bill, got the email last night. So
the higher batch.
The higher batch. Yeah. So,
but we don't know for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it was a computer mistake? I
think what it was because I asked him, I said, did you have a 7 in your order? And then, I was going to type in or an 8, or a 9, but the whole point is I think that he probably was in the first batch, but remember when you went back and checked your order like a day or two later, and it was going into batch 2 and batch 3, and it would say up there in the corner, now in batch 2, now in batch 3. So he may have misunderstood.
Right.
I don't think that they're really doing that. Like I said, there's only been a few instances, and it's where people have actually went out there and contacted them and seen them and stuff. Because remember, Kyle told us that. That's how he got it. He actually saw them test it and went up and said, hey, remember he said, I didn't even know how to fly a drone.
Yeah.
And he had to go out and show them.
Well, when Chief Mike gets his, maybe I'll try to meet up with Chief Mike and we can make like a little video.
What I'm going to try to do, if and when you actually bring it to me, Scotty-O, I was thinking about going down and seeing the FPV Seattle guys when they're racing in the brewery, and we could actually get some like heads up stuff while they were flying and doing that stuff, and see what kind of footage we could come up with them, because they're all going to go nuts when they see it too.
Oh, yeah. And plus, Bill, if it's no thin wires or thin branches in there, you could fly just like the FPV guys through there, because you're not going to hit anything.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to try to put it in jeopardy like everybody else wants. I want to actually keep it for a little while, and like I've told everybody before, I would love to use it for kind of like family events, like if we can go somewhere for a big picnic outing somewhere, or if there's a wedding somewhere, and the people all say, yes, that would be wonderful, we don't mind, and we can set it out there and we can all just kind of eat and watch, and then finally when it gets done, it just sets down.
You can just wave it around with a beacon. Hey, go
ahead.
Well, did you see Ken's video, where his first flight video, where he's out on the skateboard or whatever, and he's got it?
Yeah, I did.
I'm going cam here. I know it was amazing what it did, but he did that. That must have been an hour before sunset. Did you see the deep shadows and the harsh light? Did you see how the dynamic range? Did you see you could see the detail in the shadows and the way it handled the color? People that don't think this has a good camera, watch Ken's video, because even in tricky lighting situations, it did a great job.
Wasn't that a day or two after his first boosted board accident?
Well, we won't go there.
Well, no. At least he made it for a little while, man. I'd probably have a broke leg after a day or two.
I wouldn't even get on the thing because I don't have my balance anymore.
Okay, now what are you all talking about, John? Go ahead.
What? Oh, me and Old Guy and Joan and RC Fun's versions. We're all talking about something called Einav.
Okay.
Einav is like a fork of Betaflight, which, all the FPV guys, we use that. Mm-hmm. But it's got GPS stuff like altitude and position hold is added to it, return to home, auto landing, waypoints. And the reason why it was basically created is because with more people flying long range with the 7-inch drones, kind of like, you remember when we had Benson on?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, with that kind of stuff out there, there was this need for Einav, and also with the Cinewhoops and stuff, you kind of want to be using Einav for that kind of thing. And he was telling me that the Tyro 129 has an Einav target, and that's a pretty cheap quad at really good value. And it's just good stuff for those of you guys interested in the more camera side of FPV.
That's another cool thing about the show is people that have kind of stuck with us and understand drone therapy, and that's part of the rapid fire thing. We cover a bazillion things about drones and everything else in a night. So you kind of got to go through the whole show and pick out different pieces here and there. And I'm glad that you brought that up too, John, because we play off each other well. I would love, can you imagine taking the Scotty 02 out with Benson one day?
Oh yeah, for sure.
His drone, or going down through there and get some of that cinematic stuff? For
sure. And, for you guys who are really into the camera stuff, Einav and a 7-inch FPV drone, it's really something to look toward. And he was telling us that $160, 7-inch quad, ready to fly for Einav. It comes with a session mount too, if that's the kind of thing you want. So really pretty cool.
I mean, what amazes me, John, is how quickly the camera side of the FPV market is developing. I mean, to the point where it's going to be in par with the with the camera drones soon.
Yeah, I mean, well, to me, it's going to be another. It's like another tool to do video. I mean, at the end of the day, you can capture aerial photography with these FPV quads that you just can't necessarily capture with a Mavic 2 Pro or even the Skydio. You know, it's just a whole different. It's a whole different level. They're each
more precise.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. If you want the kind of video from a Mavic, it's a whole nother tool. To me, it doesn't have to be either or. Like they're all tools for taking nice video.
GPS and altitude hold to a precise tool like that.
Yeah, Bill, if you want, you could get the Einav GitHub up or the site for it just to show people real quick.
The Einav what?
Yeah, just Google for Einav and it'll come right up. You guys can check it out. It's a fork from Betaflight, I believe, that's with a heavy focus about GPS features. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but if you use Betaflight, there really isn't a whole lot of, you know, GPS related features in it. You have to be using Einav. So this really helps bring some GPS drone features to our FPV quads.
On Banggood? Oh, so you buy their product? Okay, I get it. That's cool.
That's just if you.
Flight.
Oh, it's a fork of Clean Flight. Okay, sorry. I thought that I didn't know if they were forking Betaflight or Clean Flight.
That time of day.
Yeah, and it supports, you know, waypoints, follow me, and there's a wide variety of flight controllers that you can use for it. You know, F4 and F7. So you can basically have a pretty full-featured GPS bird, but it's FPV. It's an FPV quad. Yeah, Mitch is right. Betaflight only has what is called GPS rescue, and it's kind of what I would call an imperfect return to home situation because it works without the use of a compass. So very, very cool. Yeah, Betaflight is a fork of Clean Flight. That's right. I just wasn't sure if Einav was a fork of Betaflight. But it turns out that's also a fork of Clean Flight. I'd never heard of Einav until quite recently. But then again, there hasn't been as huge of a push with the Cinewhoops, Cinedrones, and all that stuff, where this kind of thing is very useful. So it's getting more exposure, probably.
Yep, pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Just another tool for us all to have.
Oh, it's Jody was saying Einav has been around for a long time.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that. I didn't know it's been around there for a long time.
Oh, so Betaflight and Einav are forks of Clean Flight. See,
yes,
you guys have been in RC for a long time, long time. You know. Back when you still used the rubber band. Okay, that wasn't funny. I thought it was kind of cool.
I was just reading a random comment from 3X Drones. You can tell when a good YouTuber is going bad due to a little YouTube money. That kind of came out of nowhere, but I think we can all agree on that one.
Yeah. Oh, Art popping up over here. He's saying, got to run to bed. Good night, all. So good night, Art. Thanks for coming in tonight and hanging around with us. Okay, like I was wanting to say too, anybody that's here, we have a Christmas special. We've done it for 3 years in a row. Of course, Ron's going to be back. Hopefully, Marcus will be back with us, and Ethan will be back next week. But we'd also like to kind of roll through, you know, special guests throughout the night. So we're going to have an open space for, you know, at least one more guest, hopefully one or two more guests throughout the night. So we'll roll some more people in and out and talk about Christmas stuff and what all we're wanting to do and be happy, jolly. And I might even get some eggnog liqueur or something and be stranger than usual.
And you can pass it through the screen to John and I. Well, I shouldn't offer John if John may not be a drinking man, but I take a little nip now and then.
Well, I take a nip when there's still some at the bottom of the pitcher or bottle or whatever. I don't want to sound that bad, but you know, it's not like we bring it in the house that often. It's just a holiday thing. Hey, but yeah, this has been really cool. We've had a lot I get a kick out of seeing, we can get different conversations out of the chat. Kenny's still here. DeMarco's still here. And my phone's still ringing like always. Einav. The developers are working pretty hard. And everybody's telling Art good night. Jay does a lot of cool videos and stuff. You got to love if anybody hasn't checked out his channel, you got to love his hand launch right off his balcony. I think that's awesome. So yeah, everybody, just to pay homage to Roger from Canadian Drone Hub, everybody that's in the chat, please check out everybody's channel. We understand that you can't always watch everybody's videos, but please try to support them. Come in. Everybody's welcome to come in every week. We're going to try to have new guests on next, after the new year in season 4. Anybody and everybody that's interested in coming on and being a guest. And yes, Mitch, it sounds to me like we would love to have you on at sometime in January.
Oh, that would be great.
Cover all this stuff. We can go into Einav in detail. We can talk about the analog conversion for the DJI FPV system. We can talk about how John has gotten his new FPV system, hopefully, and how he's going to go digital and you're going to be analog. And then we can do that too. And then Ron and me will just sit here and
go. I could sit here and say, I want to make a trip out to John, what state do you live in now?
I live now in Missouri.
I'm going to make a trip out to Missouri where John could give me a crash boot camp and fly an FPV.
Wait a minute.
Well,
ain't that the show me state?
Yes, it's the show me state. So yes, I guess I'll come here and I'll show you FPV. But Ron, to tell you the truth, does the DJI system, because I've seen this more, there's a lot more interest now from people who have been flying GPS birds. Once DJI made it, now it's like, oh, people are really, really interested. Does the DJI system make you more interested in FPV than you were before?
I want to say yes to get the ratings here and whatever, but not really. I understand, the advantages of it from a theoretical standpoint, but since I'm a absolute beginner anyways, it doesn't really mean a whole lot to me at this point outside of, someday if I ever get good at it, then I'll get this system. But I'm so far away from being to the point where it's going to do anything for me. It's really just, it sounds great, and I'm glad that it's going to really take it to a next level for advanced users like you.
Well, let me jump back real quick. We got some people going to bed on us. Thank you very much, ma'am, for coming in tonight. If you haven't, please already jump over and check out Mermaid Clover's channel. And she's got some Facebook stuff up and too, does some really cool stuff. She's an actual mermaid, guys. You should really go. Mermaid. And Johnny Drone Flyer, we're glad you came in. I noticed earlier in the show you asked us how many drones each of us had, and to be honest with you, more than we're willing to admit live on camera. Our wives would probably skin us. So
yeah, exactly. I don't want to say how many.
We'll take the 5th.
Yeah, we'll plead the 5th on that one. So we probably have more than we should, and in our eyes, not enough.
Yeah, exactly.
And at least it's a less expensive toy than cars and boats and things.
That's true. In the grand scheme of things, it's really not that bad.
So, yeah. And I just wanted to say thank you very much for you folks coming in. And please come back and see us again next week. Oh, and thank you very much, sir. Spider Hank's taking off too. And he's going to go, him and the mermaid they're going to go hang out for a little while. I'll be nice because I haven't drank anything, so I'll be polite. So thank you all for coming in, hanging out, and watching the show with us. And like I said, we're going to have a Christmas party. And if you'll be willing to show up on camera again, we might even get you in here too. Frank, you still here, Frank?
Frank?
No, he just said later, so we'll see. Floyd's getting ready to take off.
Hey, we need to get Floyd on camera.
Anybody off? We're still talking. We're not saying that you got to go, but we understand if you do.
We're trying to bore him, Bill.
Well, I don't think we're being boring, but this is kind of about the time after the phone rings. We're usually slowing down. Everybody knows that. The phone usually. That's the hour timer there.
Bill, can I throw in something real fast? You mentioned the Pocket Learn and Pocket before. Did you guys see that FEMI now has a Pocket clone out? I think it's $199.
Man, every Yes, for real, Frank. I want that because we're still going to do the video shows. I'd love to talk about Filmer. And oh man, did you put anything up on YouTube? He's got like I don't know how he laid the text. He used Filmer to lay these textures on an Earth globe, and I don't know how to explain it. You got to see it to understand. Do you have a link to anything, Frank? Oh, you know me, man. I'm not going to. I just because we had people that were taking off. So
it did sound like you were wrapping it up. I'm not going to lie.
But you know how I am. It's okay. If the few people that are still here, anything that y'all want to talk about, we got. I can hang around for a little bit longer. But if any of these gentlemen need to go, that's cool too. But I think we're okay. I was just. Some people were going to bed. Art was going to bed. Courtney was going to bed. Frank's going to bed. Of course, I understand that one. But anyway, so I was just saying. So anyway,
Ron, I was going to bounce off the point that you were talking about how you felt like, it's the DJI FPV system is good for like advanced users like me. Like, I don't know if you said that because you think that you might have to like build a drone to use the system, but they're really coming out with a lot of bind and fly FPV stuff out there. Like there's this new one that I saw just the other day called the iFlight DC3. And wow, I mean, for the price, at least in my opinion, bind and fly, it's pretty dang good. So you're pretty close to being able to just buy it off the shelf and fly it with the DJI system. And that's what I'm seeing more and more. So, I wouldn't count it. I wouldn't count it out. Count out using it, man.
And I'm never going to be a build drone FPV drone. I'm just going to fly. I would just buy whatever the hot. And I'd probably never buy the bigger size. I'd only buy the what do they call the micros or whatever, the small.
Yeah, they call them micros.
I'd only buy whoop, but I would just buy whatever was supposed to be the best whoop at the time or whatever. I would never build or customize or whatever. So.
Right. Well, hey, they've removed, as I'm seeing these bind and fly DJI setups coming up, you're not going to have to build to fly DJI system. You could just buy something like that off the shelf and you'll be able to fly. Your only problem will come along is like if you crash it and you need to fix it, but that's a whole other story.
Right. Well, if you're buying $100 whoops or whatever, you just buy another one.
What? Well, no, I wouldn't just buy another one, but that's just me. This one was $100 and I'm going to put a new canopy on it. So there's that.
Well, I mean, if it's small fixes, but I mean, any major work or whatever, it's not like you're, sending a $1,000 camera drone for repairs.
Right. Yeah.
No, I mean, I know a lot of guys that build their own drones. They've got hundreds of dollars sunk into them. And of course they're fixing them, whatever, so, anyway, if I ever get the free time, I've never seen that time for anything. I got a couple of whoops around, and I've got a cheap pair of goggles, and I flow my house, and I do okay, whatever. And I put an acro, and it's funny, I can't like take off with acro, but if I get in the air in stabilized mode, then flick in the acro, then I can fly it.
And that's completely fine, dude. I did that for a long time before I was able to just take off in acro. I did it all the time. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And absolutely nothing wrong with putting yourself into stability mode to be able to land too. One thing that a lot of people struggle with. They struggle with being able to land because the camera is tilted so far up that you can't see the ground. So it can be a little scary trying to land. It took me a while to get used to doing that.
Something I wanted to do real quick. If you all don't know, I wanted to give a quick shout out and tell her to get some rest and feel better. If you didn't know, Z to the O to the E FPV had to go to the hospital today because she thought she'd had a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
And they did some tests and everything, sent her home with some pain meds and stuff and told her to get some rest and everything. So please, if you are subscribed to Zoe's channel, jump over there, tell her to feel better and everything, and put some love on her channel and let her know that we're all thinking about her. And we want to see her.
Terrible to hear that.
Pretty soon. And did I see somebody said, Furball Kim, hey bud, good to see you. Glad to have you in the house. Kenny's still here. Glad to have you hanging. Frank's still hanging around. He's still here and everything. Jim's still here. Mitch is still here. But yes, like I was saying about all you gentlemen, I want to make sure that all of you, Jim, we'd love to have you on sometime too from Above and Beyond Drones, because he finds a lot of really good information about FAA regulations and the changes that are coming up and everything. And he keeps a lot of data and information about that. If you don't or are not already aware of it, if you will check out his name, type that name in on Facebook, you should be able to find his group. And it's a really good group with a lot of good information in it. Oh, wait a minute. John typed up. Oh, okay. Yes. If you can see that where Frank just posted at the bottom of the page, he's talking about some of the filmer and stuff like that. Then you can go there and see what I was talking about. He did with the texturing and stuff in filmer with hit film, and it's unreal. It will blow your mind. Let's see, Jay. I saw Jay put his up, but see, this says with the 3 X's. Wait a minute, let me see how bad mine is. So, have you gotten an email, Jay? Is that what you're telling us? How far was that off from you, Ron?
I don't know my number. I'd have to look it up, and I'd probably, the show would be over before I'd probably find it.
Oh, I'm looking right now at mine. He's done got me curious. So I want to know.
Jay said he didn't get his email yet. I'll look up and contact you.
I think so. Let's see. Yeah, he's lower than me.
Well, I won't mention any names, Bill, but there's another famous drone channel. I think his numbers, I don't know, some big amount, like 500 behind mine, and he didn't get his email yet.
Okay. I gotta say, I feel really left out right now at all these shipping numbers.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing I gotta say, Jay. When you get your email, please let me know, because then I might get all giddy and start getting excited. But the thing about it is I'm afraid it's going to be January before we get our email.
Well, when you were going for a second, Bill, judging by the timelines I've seen so far, I think mine would be scheduled to arrive like on Christmas Day, which means, of course, it won't in all those holidays. I don't expect to see mine till almost New Year's. New Year's Eve.
That's what I'm thinking. Is it's probably going to be. I'm not going to be able to finalize my order and probably until January. I figure I'll probably get my email in January.
And I hope it comes tonight. I hope it comes tonight at 11:30.
Do what now? What did you say, John?
Parks and Tech is here. He says he's really late. Don't yet.
Oh,
John, fine, man. Not too late.
You're just fashionable.
Hey, Bill, stop the show. It was Josh's birthday Monday.
Oh, happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, Josh.
Happy birthday, Josh. Hey, I tell you what, for your birthday, I'll let you buy me a Skydio controller.
Oh, that's a good deal.
No, I said I'll let him buy me a Skydio controller for his birthday.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe he'll give you his. Josh probably has a Skydio already.
Oh, do you have a Skydio, Josh?
I think Josh has one already.
I'm just trying to hit all the names that came in. Let me hit Josh again. Hey, Josh.
Above and Beyond Drones didn't order the Skydio as well. He's in the same boat as me.
So you're two people. The only two people.
Only two people that didn't order the Skydio.
No, you're not the only two people. I'm sure.
No, I know. I'm just messing.
I didn't know that Jay ordered one until he just said that.
No, I didn't know either.
Man. Okay, Jay, when you get yours, then it should be like a week or two later I get mine. And then after you get yours and you fly yours once and I get mine fly it once, you come on the show and we'll have like a Skydio night, and we'll let John, and we'll even get Josh on too. And they can just kind of sit over in the corner and be like, man, I wish I'd have ordered one. John won't, but Josh might.
Ask Josh how many drones he has.
How many drones do you have, Josh?
He's not allowed to say on air.
He's not allowed to say on there. Josh, is it Elam or Elam? I hope I say that right. Elam? Well, we're glad to have everybody here. Is there anything that we don't know about? Glass batteries. What's the new tech who was it? Who was it? Somebody. What's that new tech that the guy that invented the lithium ion? What's that? He come out with some kind of new tech? I was reading about it the other day.
I think this sounds familiar, Bill. But
I lost for it. It's not the glass batteries. It's a new tech and a new battery that they've come out with. And the guy that created he ordered the Xeno 2. We were talking about that at the beginning of the show, Josh.
I knew it, Josh.
You got all the Xenos.
I knew you'd order it.
Xeno needs to give you stuff. Was it solid state? I'm trying to think what it was. I need to see. I'm trying to think. Just keep typing up stuff, and whatever they say, Ron, yell it out real quick, and
Okay.
Inventor.
Matt says, Josh, I'm fixing to do the same, buddy. I guess Matt's going to order the Xeno Pro, and Parks in Texas, he loves his Xenos. Josh, did you get the Xeno Pro? And Matt, did you get the Xeno Pro also?
What is this? So,
Xeno Hups is going to get overrun with those Xeno 2 orders, or I should say GearBest or Banggood.
Oh no! So he is the guy that. Okay, I'm wrong. He's the guy that did the glass batteries. He did the glass batteries. So the new tech or whatever. Somebody was talking about last week's show. They were bringing up the glass batteries, and we were all like, "What is that? What is that?" So, and then I looked it up, but that's supposed to be the thing of the future. It's like smaller, more dense, and can actually hold more power.
I'm gonna have to look into that because I was listening to you guys while I was off, and yeah, that's very interesting. I hadn't heard
this. Oh, and see, that's another person. So not only am I gonna, once I get my Skydio, am I going to actually go down and hook up with FPV Seattle guys, I'm going to go down and finally fly with Curtis if I don't get to fly with him sometime before 2020. You know, I've only known him for a year and a half, and he's only like right down the road, and I still haven't flown with him. So
no, ask Curtis whether he got his email yet from Skydio.
He did not order it. He wants to. His big joke is he wants to buy mine after I get bored with it.
Oh,
that's what he says. He said I want to buy. He said I'm going to buy one really cheap when somebody just don't want theirs no more. So
that's a new strategy. It's good. That's good.
So, but no, and he was wanting a Mavic Mini under the tree, and then he decided no, he didn't want a Mavic Mini. He wants a GoPro 8 now.
Okay, well,
how about this, Curtis? How about an Evo 2? I know it wouldn't be Christmas; it'd be January, but still,
he could get it for Valentine's Day.
So he's talking about underwater stuff. Are they going to cut the cord?
I don't know.
He says right here. He says. So I'm wondering, are they going to cut the cord? I don't see how, but it would be really cool if they could.
It would be. I'd maybe in then without the cord.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, it would be super cool because it'd be like really, you'd have a drone that you could fly underwater, and you could just literally sit there on the beach, and you wouldn't have to worry about how many feet you went out. But I don't see that happening anytime super soon.
Or you could go out on like on a dive boat or the tour boat and just throw it off the side, and you're seeing everything the snorkelers are. Yeah,
exactly. And then he's like, wait, I think Bob's out of some oxygen. Somebody needs to get down there. Oh, never mind. But I mean, yeah, because that too, it could be a rescue type of vehicle, just like drones are. So you could get it down there fast.
Lifeguards could use it.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, that's true. What about return to home, Rigga? Because he's talking about how would you bring it back?
Oh yeah. Return to home, GPS.
The only problem is what if you lost power, man? It's not like you're going out the cornfield.
well, maybe when you lose power, it would just let its air out and float to the surface.
Yeah, and it's like I said. He said if you got scuba gear, why would you need one? Yeah, because the thing about it is you really need to be able to just stay on the boats. Yep, see right there, return to home. Bingo.
Yep. There we
But
go.
the cord, so
Sounds like I'm in.
I've never had one, so I don't know how sturdy that umbilical is, but it would seem to me that return to home would just be pull it back. And I mean, I don't know how long the cables are. I don't know how many feet they go out. So, I have no idea. I've never used an ROV. I know Curtis has one.
If somebody would be willing to send one out to Bill and I, we would sure test it for him.
Yeah, because did you see earlier Jim was saying, I'm not going to buy for a drone to review. And that's something that I was wanting to touch on too, is why does anybody do that? It's just we're doing so much free work for them that they would normally pay big dollars to get done. And the most you're getting out of it is what, like a $15 drone. That's what it's cost them to make, and they might be charging $80 for it. I don't know. I've always had that kind of rant, but it was kind of funny too because they sent me this, and that's what I'm using to power this light, and it still hasn't even put a dent in the power.
Good review, Bill. I'll hit your link. I'll hit your link up.
Oh, I don't have a link for it. I've just had it for a long time. I did that really, really psychedelic review for it with the
I remember.
Yeah, so the lady was really nice and said thank you, but she didn't ever send me anything else, but it has gotten a few views, and I've had a few comments and saying, what the hell did I just watch?
I take
after a dead show, I was really crazy. Let's see. Oh yeah, how many? What are we talking about? The umbilical is a redundancy, and those are good. Oh really? So it actually does have kind of a Wi-Fi signal.
Yes, so.
That's what I did not know that.
Bill, I saw that one they call Dory, that ROV. It was on sale with a coupon for what, like $350 without the case.
That was the same company that made the other one that Curtis tested was the company that came out with the Dory.
Was the Gladius whatever it is? Is
what
it
was
the same company?
Huh?
Was it the Gladius? Is it the same company?
The same company that made the Gladius.
Okay, cool.
And the thing about it was it was kind of the same thing. They had the Gladius, and then 4 months later they came out with the Dory. So you plunk down all that money, and it was like I think Phantom 4 Pro money for the Gladius as opposed to like $399 for the Dory.
Well, isn't the Dory much lower end though than the Gladius?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know how much lower end, but yeah, it's not as capable as the Gladius. And I'm no expert, so I don't even want to say any more than you just said. But yeah, I think it is less capable.
Anybody, pretty much every guy that has drones would say something very similar to that.
Who out there only owns one drone? Who only has one drone?
I don't know anybody.
Crickets, right? Yeah. Who only ever goes out and buys one drone and never buys another one?
To be honest with you, I have to admit, John was talking about how it's not as popular as it was. I've gone into pretty much all of the stores that were guaranteed to have some of like the SEMA clones and whatnot, and they had nothing. Mm-hmm. I have not seen one single drone in the bargain stores at all this year.
I haven't even looked, but it's interesting.
Yeah, and at Walmart you typically get this very crappy little corner. It's the least attractive I've seen. It's really just not front and center like it was.
Well, see, the thing about it is even in Burlington, I got this cool little like LED drone from Burlington last year, and they had probably 10 or 15 drones, and they've got their toy section has expanded, and it only exists during Christmas, and it's expanded to probably about, I don't know, 5 or 6 aisles, and there's literally not one drone in it. They're all ground vehicles.
Huh.
All ground.
Yep.
Well,
yeah, the hobby shops are like that. A lot of hobby shops are like that. They get their stuff.
Burlington Coat Factory. You know,
talking about Burlington Coat Factory. Oh, good lord.
Generic cheapo stuff. Kohl's, there's like they've got one drone and a Spark. That's it. And normally they had like the little micro cheapo drone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Your Targets and stuff only have like 4 or 5 drones for sale. And normally at Christmas, there was like there were so many toy drones. You're like, nah, that's a clone of this, and that's a clone of this, and that's a clone of this, and that's a clone of this. And if I got it from China, it would be $15, $20 cheaper. But now it's just like 2 or 3, and that's it.
Wow. So kind of a drone shortage, I guess we'll call it this.
I don't know if it's a drone shortage, but where everybody's tech has become so much cheaper and it's easier to make more sophisticated drones. John and I did that show, back a while back. We all did that, and it was the downward spiral of toy drones. Remember that? And had XJet come in that show. So he was talking right with us. It was kind of, and I really and truthfully am beginning to think we've seen the death of the toy drone market.
Well, I will say one thing too. One reason the retailers may not be carrying it is, and I don't have all the statistics to back this up, but I do know a few Amazon sellers, and drones have a high rate of return compared to a lot of other products. And the reasons why should be pretty obvious. Somebody gets one, they don't know how to use it. If it's one of these toy drones that has these features that they don't quite work right, you're going to see a high rate of return. So maybe just some of the retailers have looked at those products and they're like, yeah, we get a high rate of return on this stuff after Christmas. We're just not going to push it anymore. Good point. Probably a part of it.
I don't know, man. My problem, if once I get a drone, I can't wait to get it home, charge it, and fly it. I mean, the second I get one. I don't know if you all are like that, but it's exactly the way I am. I'm like, or for that matter, see, you remember when I said you all this? I found it at Costco, and they're super cool, and it was $15. That's it. I like it so much that I had to go back and get the other one.
Get the other one. Cool, man.
You talk about super cool. When my grandson comes up, we race, and he pretends that I'm the getaway guy and he's the cops. So he's chasing me all the time. So yes, like I was saying earlier, here at Coast to Coast Drones, we sell everything that might be with RC products, including softwares.
Oh yeah, hey, you know what? Speaking of cars, Bill, I just got this a couple weeks ago. I did take it out for a quick check. Dude, check this little thing out from High Boxing. Ron knows High Boxing, right? This is
that too, right?
Yeah, this is a High Boxing brushless truck. $66, dude. It's got squeeze wheels, friggin' brushless motor. Really, really impressive little truck here. But what kind of shocks? I don't think they're oil-filled shocks, but here you can check them out here. Spring loaded.
Got good movement though.
Yeah, I mean,
Ryan said it didn't have good range.
Yeah, so I haven't had a chance to range test it. Yeah, I pretty much just messed around with it in here, but otherwise, yeah, that could be an Achilles heel of it to range. But yeah, I was pretty impressed with it in the house.
I'm a part of my RC cars, anyways. So I usually. I think the first one I ever got, I put an FPV camera and did the whole thing with the goggles and never did it again. But hey Bill, I see it's after 10. I gotta get ready to run here. So I want to.
I think it's a great time for all of us to hang it up right now.
Absolutely.
So what I want to do is tell everybody to make sure they please come back next week. I'm going to throw it around the room, and since Ron's got to go first, maybe he has to go to the little boys' room. I don't know. I'm just going to make sure that. Everybody back next week for the big Christmas special. Anybody that would love to be on with us, please get a hold of me, Ron, John. We'll try to work something out because we'd love to get as many people on as we can. Because next week is also going to be our 76th episode of Drone Thearpy. Tonight was 75th episode. Wasn't going to tell anybody until the end of the show. We've actually done 75 episodes of Drone Therapy. And John's been here for every one of them pretty much except for one or two. So, and Ron's been here for a big bunch of them also. I'm very grateful to all these people. And I'm going to swing it to Ron like I said I was.
Thank you very much, Bill, for having me on tonight. It was a great show. It was great seeing John back on with us tonight. And we had a great conversation tonight. And most of all, we had a great group of people in the chat. I mean, it was a lot of great comments, a lot of great conversations that drove the what are you going to of the agenda of the show. So I'm going to make it short and sweet here and say good night to everybody in chat. I'm going to throw it to my good friend John.
Hey, Ron, thanks. Ron, Bill, it's really great to be back. Bill, thanks for pointing out, I didn't really think about that. I've only missed like a couple shows, and that's crazy how far that the whole show has come ever since it started. It's really, really awesome. The chat was absolutely amazing tonight. So much interaction, so much great information. This has been an awesome show. I think this is one of our best shows probably. So with that being said, good night, guys. I'm gonna pass it off to Bill now to play us out.
Oh, what did I do? I think I dropped Ron out.
I think you dropped Ron.
Oh, Ron, oh, sorry, Ron. I wasn't trying to get rid of you. I hit the wrong button, Ron. I think maybe he removed himself from the stream because I don't think I did because I was on you, and then suddenly he just went poof.
Maybe he did have to go really bad. Maybe that was it.
Well, I don't know. Ron, if you're still there, I didn't. If I accidentally removed you from the stream, I'm sorry. And like I said, everybody, please, if you're watching this, be welcome with us next week. It's just going to be a Christmas show. We're going to talk about probably more of my Skydio dilemma. And I'll cry and I'll whine and I'll please pat me on the back for support probably. So, yeah, we should have fun. We should have a good time. Like John said, this was one of the most interactive and fun chats tonight. Next week, we're not going to have any forum other than Christmas and chat. So you guys be ready to fill us full of your ideas and thoughts about drones and software and whatnot for next year. And please come back and join us next week. We're very grateful to have you all every week with us. And with that being said, I'm going to say live long and prosper.